Stop. Before you open your closet this morning and reach for the same combination you always wear, I need you to hear something that most women over 60 have never been told directly. The clothes in your wardrobe are not the problem. The way you are combining them might be. And the difference between a combination that quietly ages you and one that makes you look like the most intentional, most put-together version of yourself is not about buying anything new. It is about understanding a handful of principles that nobody ever explained, applied to what you already own. In the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through 6 combination mistakes that are aging the appearance of almost every woman over 60 who makes them. And every single fix costs nothing. Not one of these requires a shopping trip, a new piece, or a visit to a stylist. These are shifts in how you put what you already have together. They work with the clothes in your wardrobe right now. They start working the very next morning you apply them. And the number one mistake on this list, the one I am saving for last, is the one that surprises almost every woman when she first hears it. Because it is a piece of advice that has been repeated so consistently, for so many years, in so many magazines and style guides, that it has become accepted as fact. And it is wrong. Or rather, it is incomplete in a way that has been quietly working against women over 60 for decades. Because it sounds like it should be a good idea. It sounds practical, even elegant. And it is quietly making more women over 60 look heavier, shorter, and older than they need to. Stay with me all the way to the end. Let us count down. Mistake number 6. The contrast between sporty and chic tones. And this one is about two worlds that should almost never share the same outfit. Mistake number 6 is mixing athletic or casual comfort pieces with polished or dressy pieces in a way that creates tone confusion. Let me be specific about what I mean. A tailored blazer over a hoodie. A formal skirt with trainers. A structured blouse tucked into jogging trousers. Each of these combinations sends a signal that something is mismatched, not in a deliberate, styled way, but in a way that reads as unresolved. As if the outfit could not decide what it wanted to be. And on a woman over 60, where intentionality reads as elegance and confidence, an outfit that looks unresolved reads as the opposite. Here is why this matters more after 60. In younger decades, mixing athletic and polish can read as effortlessly cool, as fashion-forward, as a deliberate style choice. That reading depends on certain qualities that youth provides automatically, a particular proportion, a specific energy in how the pieces are worn. On a mature woman, the same combination almost never reads as intentional style. It almost always reads as compromise. As comfort chosen at the expense of polish. There is also a specific quality problem that happens when athletic pieces meet dressy pieces on a mature figure. Athletic fabrics, jerseys, fleeces, performance knits, catch light differently from woven or structured fabrics. They move differently, drape differently, and sit against the body differently. When you put one next to the other, even without looking directly at the difference, the eye registers an inconsistency. A roughness in the visual texture of the combination that has nothing to do with color or fit and everything to do with fabric tone. The outfit does not feel resolved because the fabrics are speaking different languages. The fix is not to abandon comfort. Comfort is not the enemy. The fix is to combine pieces that are in the same tonal register. Casual with casual. Smart with smart. If you love the comfort of an elasticated waistband, find one in a fabric and color that reads as smart rather than athletic. If you love the ease of a loose knit top, pair it with well-fitted trousers rather than leggings. The comfort can remain. What changes is the visual agreement between the two pieces. Before we get to mistake number 5, I want you to know that the number 1 is still waiting. It sounds counterintuitive when I describe it. And when I first share it with women who have heard the opposite advice their entire lives, the most common response is that it cannot be right. But then they try it. And they come back and tell me it changed the way they dress every single day. So stay with me. First, mistake number 5 is about something more subtle. About what happens when every element of the outfit is competing for attention at exactly the same volume. It is one of the most common mistakes made by women who are genuinely trying to put a polished outfit together, and it is invisible until you know exactly what to look for. Mistake number 5. Tight top plus tight bottom. Stop putting on a combination where both the top and the bottom are fitted and structured with equal emphasis. This sounds like it should be fine. 2 fitted pieces. Clean lines. A put-together look. But here is what actually happens visually. When both the top and the bottom of an outfit are equally tight, equally structured, equally prominent, the eye has nowhere to rest. It bounces between the two halves of the outfit looking for a point of focus, a visual anchor, a reason to settle. And without that anchor, the outfit looks busy even though there is nothing decorative or complicated about it. Everything is competing and nothing is winning. On a mature figure, this becomes more acute. The natural changes that come with age, the softening of the waistline, the redistribution of weight, are not hidden by 2 fitted pieces worn together. They are highlighted because fitted fabric traces the body closely and makes every contour visible. The overall impression is not one of polish. It is one of effort that has not paid off. Here is something practical worth knowing about proportion. When one piece is fitted and the other has ease, the fitted piece looks more defined rather than tight, and the relaxed piece looks more intentional rather than sloppy. The contrast between them makes both pieces read better than they would paired with something of the same body relationship. This is why the most elegant outfits often look effortless, because they are built on this one simple principle of contrast in silhouette. The fix is the principle of one. One fitted, one relaxed. If the top is close to the body, the bottom should have some ease. A fitted blouse with wide leg trousers. A close-fitting sweater with a flowy midi skirt. A tailored jacket over a relaxed trouser. The contrast between the fitted piece and the relaxed piece creates the visual interest that 2 fitted pieces cannot. The eye lands on the fitted element, takes note of the shape it suggests, and then relaxes into the ease of the other. That is a resolved outfit. That is what elegant looks like in practice. Now, the number 1 is still ahead. But mistake number 4 is one that I think of as the most common mistake made by women over 60 who genuinely care about their appearance. Because it comes from a safe instinct. An instinct toward neutrality, toward not making a mistake, toward not being noticed in the wrong way. And that instinct, carried too far, creates exactly the problem it was trying to avoid. Mistake number 4. Colorless plus colorless. Stop combining a completely neutral top with a completely neutral bottom and calling it a finished outfit. Grey blouse with beige trousers. Cream top with stone-colored skirt. Ivory shirt with oatmeal cardigan. All neutral. All safe. All completely matched in their refusal to commit to anything. And the result, every time, is a washed-out visual that does nothing for the face and everything to make the person wearing it disappear. Not literally, but visually. The face has no context, no contrast, no background to push against. It fades into the neutral palette around it and looks pale, flat, and older than it is. Here is what is actually happening with color and the face after 60. The skin, as we have discussed before, becomes lighter and softer with age. Warm pigmentation decreases. What the face needs around it, more than it ever did before, is something that provides contrast. Something that pushes back against the face and makes its features, its warmth, its character visible and present. A completely neutral palette provides no contrast at all. Every element recedes into every other element, and the whole picture reads as pale and muted. Here is something that surprises many women when they first try it. You do not need to add a bold or statement color to fix this problem. The fix is often as small as one medium-toned piece, not neutral, not dramatic, just present. A dusty rose that is slightly deeper than blush. A soft teal that is neither green nor blue, but holds its own. A warm cognac that sits between camel and rust. These are not colors that announce themselves. They are colors that simply provide enough tonal weight to give the face a context and the outfit a direction. The fix does not require bright color. It does not require anything dramatic. It requires one element in the outfit that has enough presence to anchor the face. One blouse in a warm rose or a dusty terracotta. One trouser in a rich navy or a deep olive. One scarf in a color that warms the face in natural light. Just one. Everything else can be neutral. But the one element of presence changes the entire reading of the outfit. It gives the face somewhere to land and something to reflect back. We are halfway through and the number one is still waiting. I want to keep reminding you that it is worth staying for, because it genuinely does reframe the way you think about everything in your wardrobe. Not just the combinations, the individual pieces as well. Once you understand the principle behind it, you will begin to look at every garment in your wardrobe differently. But first, mistake number 3. This is one I see consistently in photographs, and it is instantly recognizable once you know what to look for. It is the opposite problem from mistake number 4. Instead of too little visual information, this mistake provides far too much of it all at once, and the person inside the outfit disappears completely as a result. Mistake number 3. Pattern top plus pattern bottom. Stop combining a printed or patterned top with a printed or patterned bottom. Stripes on stripes. Florals on florals. A check blouse with a floral skirt. A geometric print on top with a smaller stripe below. Each of these combinations asks the eye to process 2 different patterns simultaneously, and the eye cannot do this gracefully. It tries to find a relationship between the 2 patterns, fails to find one that satisfies, and gives up in a kind of visual fatigue. The person wearing the combination is lost inside it. The outfit becomes the story rather than the person. On a mature face and figure, this is particularly damaging because pattern already does a specific thing to proportion. Pattern draws attention to the area it covers. A pattern top draws the eye to the upper body. A pattern skirt draws it downward. When both areas are competing with pattern simultaneously, neither wins and neither flatters. The figure is overwhelmed. There is one additional nuance worth understanding about mixing patterns, because you will hear advice that says you can mix patterns if the scale is different, a large print with a small print. This is sometimes true in theory, but on a mature figure it almost never works in practice. Even when the scale is different, 2 patterns still compete for the eye's attention. The eye still cannot settle. The figure is still overwhelmed. The safest, most consistently elegant rule is the simplest one. The fix is simple and absolute. 1 pattern at a time. If the top has a pattern, the bottom is a single solid color that pulls from within the pattern. If the bottom is patterned, the top is solid. The solid piece does not need to be neutral, it can be the rich navy, the deep olive, the warm terracotta from mistake number 4. But it is solid. It gives the pattern something to play against, and it gives the eye a place to rest. The person inside the outfit becomes visible again. Now, 2 mistakes left. And the number 1 is the one that is going to reframe the way you think about your wardrobe every single morning. Not just about combination, about individual garments, about color, about proportion. Once you hear it and understand the visual principle underneath it, every piece of clothing you own becomes something you see differently. But mistake number 2 first, because it is the one I hear about most often, and it is the one where the solution is the least obvious until it is explained. Mistake number 2, plenty plus plenty volume error. Stop combining pieces that are both too large and too loose for your frame. An oversized cardigan with wide-leg trousers. A generous tunic with palazzo pants. A flowing blouse with a full skirt. Comfort maximized in both directions. And the result is a silhouette that has no shape, no waistline, no line from the shoulder to the hem that tells the eye where the body is or what it looks like. The outfit swims. And when an outfit swims around a body, the body inside it looks larger, softer, and older than it actually is, regardless of the actual size of the person wearing it. After 60, there is sometimes a tendency to reach for volume in both directions as a way of concealing, of creating space between the fabric and the body so that the body itself feels less present in the outfit. But visual volume does not conceal. It adds. An outfit with volume in both top and bottom adds visual mass to the entire silhouette and removes all definition from it. The result is the opposite of what was intended. One practical note on fabric weight that makes this fix even more effective. When you pair a voluminous piece with a structured piece, the fabric weights should ideally be different as well. A heavy, substantial trouser with a lightweight flowing top. A structured blazer with a soft, liquid blouse. The heavier fabric provides the grounding and the lighter fabric provides the movement. Together they create what stylists call visual balance, the sense that an outfit is anchored at the same time as it is alive. The fix is again the principle of one. Volume in one place, structure or close fit in the other. A beautiful flowing blouse with tailored narrow trousers. A full midi skirt with a fitted simple top. A generous wide-leg trouser with a close-fitting knit. The volume is still there. The comfort is still there. But it has a counterpoint. Something that tells the eye where the body is, where the waist is, where the lines of the figure can be read. And that counterpoint is what transforms a swimming outfit into an elegant one. And now, mistake number 1. The one that every other mistake on this list was building context for. The one that is so common, so automatic, so completely taken for granted, that pointing it out feels almost unfair. Mistake number 1. Dark bottom plus light top. Stop wearing a dark bottom with a light top and thinking the combination is doing what you want it to do. Wait. I know what you are thinking. Dark bottoms are slimming. You have heard this for decades. It is one of the most repeated pieces of style advice in existence. Wear dark trousers to look slimmer. A dark skirt lengthens the leg. And it is not entirely wrong. But here is the specific thing that happens when you put a light or pale top over a very dark bottom on a mature figure, and why it is doing the opposite of what most women intend. Visual weight follows color. The eye goes first and longest to the lightest area of an outfit. When you wear a pale or light top with a dark bottom, you are placing the visual weight, the area where the eye lands and stays, directly on the upper body. The chest, the bust, the upper arms, the neck, the shoulders. These are the areas that a light top illuminates and the dark bottom shadows. The result, visually, is that the upper body reads as larger and more prominent than the lower body. The eye is anchored high. The figure reads as top-heavy rather than balanced. For women over 60 who carry weight in the upper body or bust area, this combination amplifies exactly what they were hoping to minimize. And for women who do not carry weight there, the combination still reads as unbalanced because the contrast creates a visual horizon line right across the middle of the body that draws attention to the waistline and everything near it. The fix is a reversal of the received wisdom. Reverse the values. A darker top, not necessarily black, but a color with depth and richness, paired with a lighter, softer bottom. This moves the visual weight downward. The eye travels to the lower half of the body first and the upper body recedes. The figure reads as longer and more balanced. The face, framed by the richer, deeper color of the top, looks more luminous rather than washed out. This is the combination that works with the natural changes of the mature figure rather than against them. There is one more thing worth saying about this reversal. You do not need to go very dark on top for this to work. The principle is relative contrast, not absolute darkness. A medium dusty blue reads as darker than cream trousers. A warm terracotta reads as darker than camel. A soft sage green reads as darker than ivory. The top does not need to be black or navy to carry more visual weight than the bottom. It simply needs to be richer in tone than whatever is below it. Once you understand this, your whole wardrobe becomes a different set of possibilities. Try it this week. Just once. A rich navy or deep burgundy blouse with ivory or soft camel trousers. A forest green top with light grey wide-leg trousers. A dark plum-fitted top with cream wide trousers. Look at yourself in a full-length mirror. Stand back far enough to see the whole silhouette, not just the details. Notice where your eye goes first. Notice how long it stays there. Notice whether it travels upward to your face or downward to your feet. On the dark top light bottom combination, your eye will go to the lower half and your face will come forward. On the previous pale top dark bottom combination, your eye will go to the upper body and the face will recede slightly into the light background of the top. This is not a small difference. In a photograph, in a mirror, in the eyes of someone who looks at you across a room, it is the difference between a figure that reads as elegantly proportioned and one that reads as top-heavy. The difference will be immediate, visible, and something you will not be able to unsee. Before we close, I want to give you one more thought that ties all 6 of these mistakes together into a single principle. Because when you look at the full list, tone confusion, too-fitted everything, no color presence, pattern overload, volume in both directions, light on top, they all share the same root cause. Every one of them is an outfit that has not made a decision. That has not chosen what it wants to say or where it wants the eye to go. And an outfit that has not made a decision hands that decision to the viewer. And the viewer, left without guidance, will make the least flattering interpretation available. The eye always finds the heaviest, softest, most prominent element and settles there. Your job as the person building the outfit is to choose what that element is before the viewer does. Here is the thread that connects all 6 of these mistakes. The eye is telling a story about your body every time it looks at your outfit. It reads color, it reads proportion, it reads contrast. And most of the combination mistakes women make after 60 are mistakes in how they are directing that story. Too much pattern, and the story has no hero. Too much volume, and the story has no shape. Too much neutrality, and the story has no voice. Too much similarity between top and bottom, and the story has no rhythm. Every fix on this list is a way of taking the authorship of that story back. Of deciding what the eye sees first, where it rests, what it remembers. You do not need new clothes to do this. You need to look at what you already have with fresh eyes and a few principles that nobody ever handed to you before today. Here is what I want you to do before you close this video. Go to your wardrobe right now, not tomorrow, right now, and look at the combination you wore most recently. Look at whether it had tone agreement or tone confusion. Look at whether it had one fitted and one relaxed element, or whether both were the same. Look at whether it had a color with presence, or whether everything receded into neutral. And then look at whether your darkest piece was on top or on the bottom. You do not need to change anything tonight. Just look. Because the moment you begin to see these things, you cannot unsee them. And that shift in how you see is worth more than any new piece of clothing ever could be. Pick one from this list. The one that felt most like your wardrobe. Try the fix tomorrow morning. Come back here and tell me in the comments which one you chose to try first. Tell me what happened when you looked in the mirror. Tell me if something shifted. I read every comment on this channel and I mean that. If this helped you today, share it with one woman you know who has ever stood in front of a full wardrobe and felt like she had nothing to wear. Not because she needs new clothes, she probably does not. Because she needs this information. Which she now has, thanks to you. You do not need to explain anything. Just send it. She will understand exactly why. And if you are not yet subscribed, do it now. Because next week I am covering the 5 specific colors that quietly age every woman over 60 who wears them regularly, including some that are almost universally described as elegant and classic, and the precise shifts within those same color families that change everything without changing your entire wardrobe or spending a single dollar. You will not want to miss that one. You are not running out of style. You are not running out of options. You are not running out of clothes. Your wardrobe is more capable than you have been giving it credit for. You are simply at the point where understanding matters more than spending. And today you got that understanding completely and entirely for free. Tell me below, which of these 6 combination mistakes did you recognize the most in your own wardrobe? And which fix are you going to try first tomorrow morning? I read every single comment that comes in on this channel, and I genuinely mean every word of that.